Greetings. Welcome back to Noir Alley West, aka Bar 355 in Oakland, California. I'm your host, Eddie Muller. Today I've got a special treat, especially for the hardcore noiristas. It's the TCM premiere, actually the North American broadcast premiere, of a 1952 Argentine film called No abras nunca esa puerta, which I translate as Never Open That Door, though the more literal translation is Don't ever open that door. I'm taking that liberty because, for all intents and purposes, I'm now the U.S. distributor of the film, which was initially preserved by my Film Noir Foundation in 2013 and completely restored in 2023. Darkness has no borders. That's the theme of the Noir City Film Festivals I'm presenting around the country this year, a program of double features pairing films with similar stories, one in English, the other in the native tongue of the country in which it was made. The restoration of Never Open That Door was the inspiration for the No Borders concept, because it is a stunning adaptation, in Spanish, of the work of an American writer regularly featured on Noir Alley, Cornell Woolrich. The film's director, Carlos Hugo Christensen, traveled to New York City in the early 50s to personally meet the reclusive author, who lived with his mother in the Hotel Marseille in Manhattan. Christensen was after the rights to 3 short stories Woolrich had written under his pen name, William Irish. The eccentric author sold the rights to Christensen for cash, not even bothering to consult with his Hollywood agent, H.N. Swanson, who'd made Woolrich a pile of dough in Hollywood, selling his novels and stories to virtually every studio in town. What Christensen envisioned was a single feature comprising 3 separate stories of suspense, ones he'd admired in a collection of Woolrich stories translated into Spanish by Seventh Circle, a popular line of English-language crime and mystery fiction curated by 2 of Argentina's most prominent writers, José Luis Borges and Adolfo Bioy Casares. The stories Christensen chose were Somebody's on the Phone, The Hummingbird Comes Home, and If I Should Die Before I Wake. They had all been published, some a few times under different titles, in American pulp magazines and story collections, but none had yet been adapted to the screen. At this point, the 38-year-old Christensen was one of the most prolific directors in Argentina, with 25 features to his credit. His skills as a director, producer, and writer, and his daring with both subject matter and technique, made him one of the preeminent directors during what's now referred to as Argentina's golden age of cinema, roughly the time of Juan Perón's original presidency, 1946 to 55. Christensen's plan for a 3-chapter film did not pan out, however. Few Argentine films ran more than 90 minutes, and after he'd completed No abras nunca esa puerta, its final cut ran way too long. The solution was to separate and extend the last chapter, If I Die Before I Wake, Si muero antes de despertar, into a standalone feature. The 2 films were released to theaters within weeks of each other, to terrific reviews that highlighted the filmmaker's artistry in handling such lowbrow material. Argentine audiences queued up for both films, understanding they were meant to complement each other. As a special treat for viewers, and also to pay tribute to Carlos Hugo Christensen, Noir Alley today presents both films back to back, conjoining them as the director intended. Sort of. One caveat is that Si muero antes de despertar is not a complete restoration. The original materials for the film have either disappeared or decayed past the point of salvation. But the Film Noir Foundation did manage to preserve what existed back in 2013, and our partners at the UCLA Film and Television Archive and Roundabout Entertainment recently did a digital enhancement of what survives. So stick around after Never Open That Door for the second half of our double feature, featuring the extraordinary cinematography of Pablo Tabernero, who's actually Berlin-born Peter Weinschek, What did I say about darkness having no borders? Here are two classic Cornell Woolrich tales presented under the title, Never Open That Door.